And now for something completely different. This is a game that I pledged to on Kickstarter way back in December of 2013, and it just came out not too long ago on Steam and a couple other platforms. I've played it, I've enjoyed it, and damn it, I'm gonna share it with everyone. This is the first game from a studio called The Brotherhood, so named because it's founded by two brothers. They ran a graphics studio for the longest time, and they just started making their own games. In fact, this is their first game that I know of. I'm going to warn you guys right now, this intro goes on for about 3 minutes or so. And when you're playing the game, even if you've already gotten past this point, you can't skip this opening cutscene. There are other cutscenes you can skip in the game, but this one you can't. So if you want to skip over the credits and go straight to where the game starts, skip to 2 minutes 38 seconds. As you can probably guess from what you've seen of the intro so far, this does take place in the distant future, and we are apparently near the planet Neptune. What you're looking at now is a research vessel, which we're going to learn probably more than we ever wanted to know about. Welcome to STASIS, everybody. And just as a little aside, I was coming off of Resident Evil 6 going into this, and after playing Resident Evil 6, this was exactly the pick-me-up I needed. I've heard people make comparisons of the tone and environment of this game to another game that has sort of a suspenseful future grim spaceship kind of setting, which is Dead Space. I can see how they get that sort of vibe from this, but at the same time, Dead Space is an over-the-shoulder shooter. Whereas this game, well, you're going to see it once the gameplay starts, it's a 2D isometric point-and-click adventure, which uses horror as a backdrop for all the events that are going on aboard this ship. I'll also tell you right now, whenever there are cutscenes going, whenever there's dialogue going, I'm going to be silent, and I'm going to boost the audio so you can get a full feel for what's going on in the game.
Stasis plug suit. Please hold still while your biometric scans are completed. Heart multiple fractures along ribs 3, 5, 11, and 14. Extreme muscle atrophy. Danger of heart failure. Danger of pneumothorax. Seek immediate medical attention. Medical data storage is damaged. Formatting quantum storage device. Plug suit quantum storage device is ready for physical record storage.
And the game begins. But as soon as you start moving...
This isn't my ship.
So basic controls, you click to move around. You can also mouse over different things in the environment, and it'll give you little descriptions of what they are. Although, some of the descriptions, as you can see, kind of get smashed together. Like you can see the word maintenance overlapping with the first line of dialogue. It doesn't do that very often in the game. I've only really noticed it in this particular room. Sometimes if you mouse over something to look at it, he'll also have a certain reaction to it, like if I mouse over this tank.
Oh god.
elevated neural activity can be detrimental to your current state of health. Please stay calm.
Now there's not a whole lot we can do in this room, although you can mouse over some of the consoles, and mousing over the one next to you reveals your full name. You can just mouse over the character you're using to move around and it'll say his name is John, and the name Marachek appears on the terminal.
My heart!
Please seek immediate medical attention.
This is just the game's way of getting you used to the interface, like seeing red locked doors versus blue open doors, your inventory that you saw in that opening sequence, etc.
Increased heart rate detected. Automated medical care systems are non-functional. Please seek medical attention.
Trying.
Some of you might be looking at this and saying, oh god, he is moving so slow. I assure you that's just because of the injuries that he has, the heart arrhythmia, the fractured ribs, etc., etc. We're going to the medical bay to do something about that right now.
Hello? Please. Is anyone there?
Now, on top of the usual adventure game stuff of picking up items, there are various PDAs and computer terminals you can interact with, and those will give you logs from people that were on the ship and either aren't there anymore or are dead. And when they aren't providing clues for how to get past certain areas, they do provide sometimes interesting backstory to what's going on the ship.
At least the computers work.
This computer in particular is a second place where you can figure out who your character is. It goes through the profiles of all the people who were in the cryo tanks in the room you were just in. One of them being you, and it mentions that you are one of 3 pods that were recovered from your vessel. So there are other people that you're going to end up caring about and eventually trying to find as this adventure goes on. There are also little messages back and forth from staff, or basically diary entries from some staff that chronicle some of the things that are going on. And from this one in particular, you can learn basic stuff about the ship, such as they do a lot of experimentation on humans. Something else you can pick up from this is that they don't always have the most, ethical method of retrieving human test subjects. Like if you look back at the logs that we just went through for the people in the cryotanks, we were on a personal transport ship, another person was on a luxury transport ship, and another person was on a downed transport ship that supposedly sent out a distress signal, and this is where they ended up. As you can probably tell, the pathfinding can be a little strange at times. Like, I'm trying to go just over to this medical bay door, and he wants to go all the way around the desk again. So you just gotta make little short clicks on the way to it just to make sure that the pathfinding doesn't get too messed up. I swear to God, guys, we're almost there. Really. The medical space is just on the other side of that doorway.
Groom Lake Infirmary is closed until further notice. Game Corporation accepts no responsibility for death.
And welcome to the game's first puzzle. So there's nobody here to run the equipment. We've pretty much got to figure out how to do this ourselves. You can see that there's a diagnostics area, there's a surgical area, life support systems, and there's also that big-ass sign indicating where the breaker box is. Nothing has power currently, so what you can do is, this is a very simple trial and error puzzle. You just hit all the buttons to figure out which one kicks on the power, and then you figure out which button matches up to each of these different devices. Again, even if you can't figure out where the wirings are going, you can trial and error this easily, because you can do it as many times as you want.
Emergency life support active.
Now if you hit the wrong button, you can just hit another button and it'll overload the power and you can do this again. Now we're looking for the DocMate scanner so we can get a full diagnosis.
DocMate scanner active.
Even if you don't catch on to this right away, you can use the descriptions that come up when you mouse over each of these devices to figure out where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. And even if you don't do that, there's only a few different combinations of lab equipment you can turn on, so you can just trial and error your way through this one.
DocMate scanner active. Multiple injuries detected. Emergency medical kit created. Nanite solution, anticoagulant, and morphine combination suggested. Thank you for using DocMate systems. Have a nice day.
That scream that you heard in the middle of the computer talking, that wasn't John. That's random background ambient sounds that will play as you're going through the game. Anyway, now we have the drug cocktail, and that's going to heal all of John's injuries because it's the future. And this is your basic introduction to using the inventory system, where you can use it to combine two items by clicking, dragging, and clicking on another item. So we're just going to take the needle, combine it with the drug cocktail, and then inject it into John. And this is going to knock him out for a little bit, and I will warn you, there is a hallucination with bad child acting ahead.
Deep breath.
But Dad, Sandy said that if you have bad dreams and you can't wake up that, you'll be stuck in them forever.
Well, I'll have a good talk to Sandy's parents.
But is it true?
Becca, don't worry, you won't have any dreams for the entire trip. But if you do, just squeeze Teddy, and I promise they'll go away. Now legs up, lay down. There you go.
Sweet dreams, my girl.
No. Wait. Sing it. Sing the song.
John, looks like we have a song to sing. Go to sleep, my baby girl, in your warm bed. Soon you will rise again, so drift away, sleepyhead. Dream of us, and you will see monsters can't harm you or me. Close your eyes again and worry no more. Stars and the moons, they will pass us by soon. A new day will surely be upon you and me. So go to sleep, my baby girl, in your warm bed. Soon you will rise again, so drift away, sleepyhead.
You know, you could have just told her that we're gonna have so many drugs in our system that we'll barely remember our own names.
Yeah. Somehow squeezing Teddy seemed a little more comforting than you'll be in a drug-induced coma.
We are almost done here. Do I get a Teddy?
You get a hug.
Rebecca? I need to... My wife? My child? I need to find someone. I need to get out of here.
Vital medical functions have been restored to benchmark levels.
And that's the objective of the game, is to find our family and get the hell off this ship. As you can see now, he's walking normally, and if you double click, you can get him to run to different places. Now, we're actually not done with this room just yet. I'm going to kick on the power to the robotic surgeon.
Robotic surgeon active.
If you try progressing beyond this point, you will eventually get to a point where you'll just get stuck. And if you read through a bunch of the documents, you'll eventually find out that you have to go back here. As you explore later, you'll find other logs left by security officers about how this robotic arm for the surgeon section keeps malfunctioning and they can't get the neural drill out, even though it's unlocked and open and you should be able to get it. So if you activate the robotic arm and then just try to grab the neural drill out of it, it retracts. So, what we're going to do is go back to the terminal. We're going to go into surgery prep. It doesn't matter which one of these you pick, aside from high-speed neural drill, which does nothing. Any one of them will cause the arm to extend and unlock the bit at the end so the neural drill is loose. Then you just overload the power. That shuts down the robotic surgeon station and allows you to go in and take the neural drill. And this is a very useful item. You're going to use it several times throughout this game. You might have also noticed that we still have that hypodermic needle that we used for the drug cocktail earlier. In Stasis, you don't have items go out of your inventory unless you lose them somewhere, or they get destroyed, or they're just one-use things like the drug cocktail. And we're going to be using the high-speed neural drill a lot. I'm going to stop here for now, but next time we're going to start venturing deeper into the bowels of the ship.